This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 25th day of July in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Workers attached to the Demerara Harbour Bridge Corporation and related agencies began their work to replace span 9 of the bridge just after the stroke of midnight. The bridge will remain closed to all traffic until midnight on Thursday. Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgel visited the site of the replacement works this morning, and he observed that the process is progressing ahead of schedule with no issues. The old span is being moved out and a new span will be carefully fitted in the coming day.
That structure is the old span 9. It's already been replaced by the new span 9. When we were traversing here, you used to see the old span 9 out there. So we have already been able to detach the old span 9 and the new span 9 is in place and they're working to get it aligned.
Minister Edgel noted that with the works already ahead of schedule, there is no need to panic.
We are ahead of schedule. So that's the first thing I want to say to the nation. There's no need for panic. No need for panic. We are doing well and we are ahead of schedule.
With the bridge closed, the water taxi boat services have started to operate around the clock on a 24-hour basis to allow the movement of people between the west and east banks of the Demerara River. Minister Edgel said there are now 3 crossing points. One crossing point is located between Stabroek Market and Breeden Hoop. Another is located close to the current bridge, and the third crossing is between Grove and Wales.
We have been able to operationalize all 3 crossings. Stabroek to Breeden Hoop. There's a crossing here from the Demerara Harbour Bridge to the other end of the Demerara Harbour Bridge. And with the newly installed infrastructure for safety and comfort, a crossing from Grove to Wales.
Meanwhile, the general manager at the Demerara Harbour Bridge, Wayne Watson, explained that the calmness of the Demerara River this morning allowed additional work to be done after the new span was put into place, and thereby allowing the contractors to get ahead of the schedule. Mr. Watson said although works are currently ahead of schedule, the bridge company will stick to the 3-day closure schedule to ensure all repair works and installations are properly done and completed. The Demerara Harbour Bridge links the 2 banks of the Demerara River, bringing regions 3 and 4 together. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Oh my lord, I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Are you looking for the best high school education at affordable fees? Then register your child today at the VYC Academy. Now enrolling grades 7, 8, and 9 students for the 2023-2024 academic year. VYC Academy, Achieving Academic Excellence. For more information, call us on 227-1013 or WhatsApp us at 613-4806.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to New India Assurance Company. Assurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 2260-415-7. Comfortable parking available.
The Court of Appeal today upheld the decision of the High Court that People's Progressive Party 2020 candidates Vikash Ramkissoon and Sarah Brown are not eligible for appointment to the National Assembly as non-voting members. Brown and Ramkissoon were appointed as the government's parliamentary secretaries by President Irfan Ali. However, the opposition chief whip Christopher Jones challenged the appointments in the High Court. The acting Chief Justice Roxanne George nullified the appointments on the grounds that both appointments were unconstitutional. Hoping to overturn that decision by the High Court, Brown and Ramkissoon moved to the Court of Appeal. But their hopes of taking up seats in the National Assembly as non-voting members were shattered today, with Justice of Appeal Dawn Gregory affirming the appointments as parliamentary secretaries and non-voting members of the National Assembly to be unlawful. The judge said it is ordered that the two are not lawful members of the National Assembly as their names appeared on their party's list of candidates for the elections in March 2020, and their names were not among the 33 names of persons extracted to take up seats in the National Assembly, and as such they are not eligible to take up seats as non-voting members of the National Assembly. The judge also ruled that the appointments were in breach of the Constitution, and she ruled that in the same case the appellate court was bound by the decision in the case of the Attorney General versus Desmond Morian. In that case, both the High Court and the Court of Appeal ruled that the then Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection, Keith Scott, and the Minister of Citizenship, Winston Felix, could not sit in the National Assembly as technocrat ministers on the basis that they were listed on the APNU-AFC list of candidates. Though the Attorney General Anil Nandlal, while in opposition, was the lead attorney representing Morian in that case and won it at both the High Court and Appeal Court levels, he found himself in a peculiar position, arguing this time against the same case, in an attempt to defend the appointments of Ramkissoon and Brown. Well, High Court Judge Navendra Singh has slammed the chairman of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, Karen Van Slightman Corbin, the secretary Jillian Pollard, and board member Ruth Howard for disrespecting the ongoing proceedings before the court. The judge ordered that they be removed from all positions of responsibility of the credit union board. The court, however, ordered that they remain ordinary members of the board. Justice Singh went as far as to threaten to arrest Corbin, Howard, and Pollard, but said that due to the ruling on the contempt case for now, he will just order that they not hold any positions on the credit union board. The judge ordered former chairman of the credit union Trevor Ben, vice chairman Patrick Mentor, and treasurer Rajdai Jagannath to fill the positions now being held by Corbin, Pollard, and Howard. With Mentor being the vice chair and Jagannath being the treasurer, and Ben being an ordinary member, the ruling will pave the way for his return as chairman. The judge did not order the matter to be put to a vote, but only stated that his orders be carried out as a matter of urgency. Justice Singh is expected to rule on the 12th of September on the contempt proceedings filed by credit union member Mahali McCalmont and others who went to the court last year to force the credit union to hold a special general meeting. Following that special general meeting, McCollum went back to the court to argue that the orders of the court were not followed in the holding of the meeting, and therefore the court must rule whether the chairperson and other office bearers are occupying their positions legally. In March, Senior Counsel Royce Dilford filed contempt of court proceedings against the Committee of Management of the Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. The action was filed on behalf of the member Mahali McCalmont and others. They were petitioning the court to declare that the members of the credit union's Committee of Management failed to comply with the principal orders made by the judge in September of last year. In September, Justice Singh ruled that the Committee of Management must issue a new notice within 10 days of the date of the order, scheduling a special general meeting to be held no later than 24th of October 2022. The order was not done, and the notice was issued 3 days before the meeting and backdated. The Committee of Management initially requested a waiver of the judge's orders, but subsequently withdrew that request.
TVTVAD as Mackenzie Alumni Association presents official Night of Elegance New York edition. It's all going down Friday, September 1st at Naomi and Burchell Suites, 8926 Avenue D, Brooklyn, New York, 11236. Ladies, come out looking beautiful. Doors open at 7 p.m. Contribution $100. Dinner start at 8:30 to 10:30. It's the official Night of Elegance.
The Bartica Emancipation Committee presents 5 exciting days of activities under the theme Embracing the Motherland with the embodiment of the African culture. Spelling Bee on the 28th of July, Football the 29th of July, Bonfire the 30th of July, and Miss Bartica Emancipation Pageant Emancipation Cultural Expo, along with a concert featuring Jomo Primo, LT One-Man Band, Ezzy Rockcliffe, and DJs from Bartica and GT on the 1st of August. So come out and have fun, and let's emancipate ourselves from mental slavery.
Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery.
Who knows if they actually need the roads that are being built.
Minister of Home Affairs Robeson Ben has sounded the alarm to warn citizens who get into fistfights with the police to desist from that practice, which appears to be growing into a new norm here in Guyana. At the launch of the Police Force's Respect the Road campaign on Monday, Minister Ben said drivers on the country's roadways often appear impatient, unruly and aggressive, which often leads to altercations with ranks who are doing their jobs. He said the fighting with police officers brings the country into disrepute and it will no longer be tolerated.
And which in large measure comes from dysfunctional, disrespectful adult behavior. Because these issues are related to the behavior of adults. And we have to make that frank admission in respect to the matter.
Ben said the worrying situation on the country's roadways requires the drivers and pedestrians follow the directives of the traffic officers carrying out their duties. He calculated that the country is well on course of surpassing 100 traffic deaths for this year. Already 70 traffic deaths have been recorded so far for the year, representing a 33% increase for the same period last year. Accidents in the country's roadways also went up by 30% when compared to the same period last year. To curb the situation, Ben said there has to be more aggressive enforcement actions.
If we don't take aggressive enforcement actions now, and aggressive enforcement actions mean that for every month going forward, we can only have 5 road deaths a month going forward now. So if we want to maintain the type of figures we had last year, we have to make sure that we cannot have more than 5 road deaths a month.
The Home Affairs Minister believes there is a need for some order in the public transportation system also, and he expressed the view that minibus drivers and taxi drivers be uniformed. He also said there is no real need for touts.
We cannot simply continue with this level of lawless behavior. And that perhaps, or certainly, we'll have to institute a system where they have to pay for the book or the medallion which indicates to us which bus and which rank they belong to and are operating with.
Road accidents have been on the rise across the country, triggering the launch of the Respect the Road campaign to assist in curbing the problematic situation. The United States Embassy here in Georgetown has announced that the commander of the U.S. Military Southern Command, Army General Laura Richardson, will return to Guyana this week for an official visit from the 25th to the 27th. General Richardson was last in Guyana in 2022. During her visit this time, she will meet with the Guyana Defense Force, the U.S. Embassy, the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, to discuss the U.S. defense partnership with Guyana and its CARICOM partners. The visit coincides with Guyana hosting the Regional Military Training Program Exercise Trade Winds, which started a week ago. The multinational training exercise is aimed at increasing the region's security capacity, strengthening partnerships among participating defense and public security forces, fostering international cooperation, and promoting human rights. During her stay, the General is scheduled to meet with Army Chief of Staff Brigadier Omar Khan, CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Burnett, and the U.S. Ambassador Sarah Ann Lynch. She will observe Trade Winds events and participate in the closing ceremony. General Richardson last met with Brigadier Khan in June during the Caribbean Nation Security Conference in Jamaica, where Caribbean leaders gathered for talks on climate change and cyber defense. The U.S. and Guyana enjoy long-standing security partnership, marked by strong collaboration between Southcom and the GDF, the U.S. Embassy said. The U.S. Embassy said that cooperation is focused on disaster preparedness, humanitarian assistance, maritime security, human rights, professional development, and furthering the integration of women in peace defense and public security commissions, as well as countering transnational criminal organizations. In the world of business, local telecommunications company GTT, with its Business Solutions Department, is partnering with the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce on the second edition of the National Small Business Week. As part of the Small Business Expo, GTT has announced that it will select 30 small businesses and provide a platform for them to showcase their products and services while connecting them with potential customers at the Small Business Expo, which takes place on the 29th of July. In a statement, the company said it remains committed to providing dependable and value-for-money telecommunications and internet services for small businesses and continuously works to cultivate an environment where business relationships can flourish in the long run. According to the company, it is on that ground that the company has delivered on its pledges made during the last Small Business Week to improve international communication with stakeholders and offer great value and promote entrepreneurship countrywide. GTT said small businesses are encouraged to take advantage of the company's plans. According to GTT, at last year's Small Business Expo, more than 40 small businesses participated. The company said its Business Solutions Department is excited to once again collaborate with the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce to provide small businesses a platform that not only enables them to effectively promote their businesses, but also to facilitate knowledge sharing among participants.
Did you know that Gassi's Jet A1 fuel is a type of aviation fuel specially formulated for turbine engines? Jet A1 fuel is safer to handle and transport than any other fuel types due to its high flash point and low volatility. It also boasts a high energy content, enhancing aircraft performance and efficiency. So whether traveling for business or pleasure, choose Guyana's Jet A1 fuel for a safe, reliable, and efficient flight.
Sorry.
Jack?
Hey.
Boys, where you going with all that speed?
Yo, today's the 15th. My NIS contributions are due, and I ain't even get the forms as yet.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that you're not aware that all self-employed persons can now make their NIS contributions using the MMG app from the comforts of their homes and offices?
Really? You know, I just pay my bills using MMG, you know?
Yes, Jack, and the thing's simple. All you have to do is open the app, select Pay Bills, Government Services, NIS, and Pay. They will prompt you to enter your NIS number, the month you're paying for, and the amount.
So I don't need to submit any form?
No, The only time you submit in a form is when you're making a claim.
Wait, I could make a claim too?
Oh, no, man, Jack. You didn't know that? Yes, all self-employed persons are entitled to all benefits from NIS. Well, except for the industrial benefits. And here's the good part. All of their forms, you can download them from the NIS website.
Well, girl, I'm really glad I bumped into you.
Anyhow, make sure you pay your bills later.
Later? I gotta sit down right here and pay my contributions first.
Take care.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor at the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shopping comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water, now available for only $120.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall in the region. The Cayman Islands and Barbados on Monday announced direct flights between the two destinations as part of the efforts to improve the transportation woes within the region. Cayman Islands Minister of Tourism Kenneth Bryan said the initiative would begin on October 18. At the time, he was speaking in the presence of Barbados Tourism Minister Ian Gooding-Edgill. Bryan, who is also chairman of the Barbados-based Caribbean Tourism Association, CTO, described the initiative as a game changer, opening up travel between the islands and the Eastern Caribbean. The vision is to expand the airline's connectivity to key locations situated to the north, south, east, and west of the islands, he said, announcing also a second weekly flight to Los Angeles. The announcement of the new route comes as the Cayman Islands over the last weekend announced that the number of overnight guests was now nearing pre-pandemic levels. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew says the European Union has agreed to set up a committee to discuss and structure the Citizenship by Investment (CBI) program that is used by several countries in the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States (OECS) to lure investors to the sub-region. Drew, who is also the chairman of the 9-member OECS groupings, said that he met with the EU representatives during last week's EU CELAC summit in Brussels, where various concerns regarding the program were discussed. He said among the issues are data security and abuse of the program. Prime Minister Drew said the concerns were ultimately addressed in a document put forward by him and the head of the Citizenship by Investment Unit, Michael Martin, which outlined how the program has been strengthened. And finally tonight, international news. A court in Brussels has found 6 men guilty of terrorist murder, more than 7 years after suicide bomb attacks killed 32 people at the city's airport and a metro station in March 2016. After a long trial and 19 days of jury deliberations, the court in Brussels returned their verdicts. Several of those on trial had already been convicted of taking part in the Paris terror terror attacks months earlier. Sila Abdeslam, 33, was arrested days before the Brussels bombings. He was found guilty in France last year of the November 2015 Paris bomb and gun attacks in which 130 people died. Abdeslam had fled Paris for Belgium after the 2015 attacks and denied involvement in the bombings 4 months later, but the court in Brussels has now convicted him of murder and attempted murder in Brussels too. Another of those found guilty of both bombings, Mohamed Abrini, who was identified on CCTV fleeing the airport when his explosive did not go off. He became known as the Man in the Hat and was among a number of suspects arrested in Brussels a few weeks later. Unlike Abdeslam, Abrini had admitted to his role in the attacks, confessing to preparing the explosive for the bombings. 4 other men were found guilty of terrorist murder.
And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.